Hi, everybody.
Hey, Carolyn.
I'm Carolyn Grafton. I'm a health coach, and I call my company Transform Your Health Today. I started out as an engineer and spent a number of years as an engineer. Partway through, I had a health crisis, so that opened my eyes. So let me just talk a little bit about health. How many of you have a car? When you drive your car into the gas station, what do? You fill it with gas, right?
Yes.
The right kind of gas. You probably don't put diesel in unless it's a diesel car. You probably don't go inside and buy a Slurpee and pour that in your gas tank. We all know that our cars are going to last longer and perform better if we take care of them. Maybe even give them an oil change now and then. But what do we do with our bodies? Do you know the difference between your car and your body? I'm looking for an answer. What's the difference between your car and your body?
I'm alive.
Okay. Okay. The difference is,
Okay.
if your car dies, you can buy another one.
Okay.
But you know what? We got one body.
Yeah.
And we never even thought about taking care of our one body because we all think that we're invincible. We don't think about what the fuel is. We know exactly what would happen if we poured kerosene in our gas tank in our car. But if we pour a Slurpee and 3 donuts in this body, what's going to happen? Everything happens over a longer period of time, so we don't get the instant feedback. 30 years ago, I got sick and almost died. I had been being a great mom. I had been working intensely for my employer, and I took care of everybody but me. And how many people have done that? How many people have given your time to everybody else so that their life works? Yes, definitely you will put your hand up. And, and that's kind of the way we're trained, that we're supposed to be here in service. But we need to be in service to our own bodies as well, because our bodies are what allow us to be able to be in service to everybody else. So I was in the hospital for 11 days. They didn't know what I had. I'd been sick for months. And they put me on massive doses of steroids, and the steroids ended up destroying both of my humeral heads.
Say that again.
So,
They did what?
they put me on steroids, and steroids are not good for your bones. But they saved my life.
Okay.
So, you know what? It was a trade-off.
So what happened?
But in the process, the tops of both of my shoulder bones disintegrated.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's something that I've worked with over a number of years. Last year, just a little over a year ago, I ended up having a total shoulder replacement on this arm. And what I did, this is really an exciting story because I flooded my body with nutrition. I spent, from when I got sick and when I came out of it, and started climbing up the steps, anybody who's already been sick knows that it takes a long time for your body to get healthy again. It takes a long time, and some things you never get back. But all this time I kept adding more and more nutrition and learning more about what one would do. And so when I knew I was going to have the shoulder replacement, I added in some super aminos and lots and lots, so it's a form of protein that you can really absorb. And I added in green shakes and lots of dense nutrition. And look at me now. I have the shoulder of a 10-year-old.
Great.
You know what? I've not had any pain. It healed really fast. And that's the exciting thing about nutrition. Our bodies make billions of cells every single day. And they make those cells with what we put in our body that day. So imagine the day that you have 2 Diet Cokes and 3 donuts. When your body goes to make those red blood cells or those bone cells or whatever, those brain cells, that's all they have. It's like sending you a Lego kit with all you get is green and blue Legos. You know, and you don't get any of the pointy ones or any of the rest. You can't build everything. We go through this, so our blood, your blood cells last, your red blood cells last 120 days. 120 days they die. So that means you've got 120 days from today, and you can have totally new blood. And it can be made with nutrition, or it can be made with Slurpees. So you have the opportunity at any given day to go ahead and change out what your body is. And they've even found out that our brain cells will replace themselves as well.
Wow.
They used to think that they didn't. They used to think that once you got to a certain age, your brain cells were ready. You know, that was it, and you didn't get any more. They're now finding that exercise and nutrition can make a difference even in growing new brain cells. So we're taught that food is here for entertainment. Think about that. You know,
Interesting.
people
That is
choose
true. That's true.
people choose to put food in their body that is
Yeah.
going to be entertaining to them. And on top of that, the food companies have figured out that that's what we believe. And therefore they have defined what's called a bliss point, which is the combination of fat and sugar and salt that makes us want more. So we're up against huge money there, doing incredible research to figure out how they can dupe us into buying their stuff that they probably make for a penny and sell for $10. So, you know, they're laughing all the way to the bank, and we're getting sicker and sicker. So we become addicted to sugar, to caffeine, to artificial colors and flavors. I mean, who could eat cereal that was just brown? I mean, doesn't it have to be red and blue and make popping noises and all of that? I mean, that's what we need for entertainment, right? Do you know that artificial colors, flavors, and fragrances are made with petroleum? So you're eating gasoline every time you eat one of these things? Did you know that our bodies, it's the car that's supposed to have the gasoline, not us?
No wonder the kids have autism
Right.
and all these other
Right.
behavior issues. They eat those Fruit Loops and all that.
And on top of that, we get to the point where our taste buds are corroded with all of this artificial food, and we don't even like real food anymore. I mean, how many kids say, I don't want that, that's green? Or maybe adults, maybe a few adults here. I don't like to drink water. Water's boring. I'd rather have something red or blue or, you know, colored with artificial cherries, you know? So over the years, from when I got sick, I just gave my body more and more dense nutrition. And that has been the secret. So I'm 73 years old.
I'll remember it, yes.
And I feel fabulous. I am so excited that I decided that it was really important to be able to teach other people about nutrition, because we're not taught that. Even doctors only get, a very short period about nutrition. So we certainly aren't taught that it makes a huge difference. We are taught that we want something fast, we want something tasty, we want something we can throw in the microwave, we want something that, has lots of sugar in it so our kids will eat it. But not all kids are looking for sugar. I'll tell you a story about my son. I have two boys, fabulous. I might tell you a little more about my first son, because he gave me a lot of trouble growing up because he was very sensitive to these artificial colors and flavors. And I didn't know what was going on, but all of a sudden he'd be just fine, and then all of a sudden he'd go, and it was like, what in the world is going on? And then the doctor told me that all of this was happening because I was a terrible mom. And it was my fault. So, we had an interesting time, but he's a fabulous adult. So, at any rate, my other son, who has been much more focused on food, his daughter, he just gave them regular food, and she went to a birthday party. She was about 4, and they had, you know, the ooey gooey cake over here, and the tray for the moms that had the red peppers and all of these things. And she came right over to this, and this is what she wanted. She didn't want any cake. She didn't want the 10 pounds of sugar. So nobody has to eat the way we eat. They're saying now that 80 to 90% of all illness is brought on by us. An interesting statistic is with ADD kids, 96% of the Ritalin sold in the whole world is sold in this country. Because this country has rules, has the laxness to allow people to put anything they want into the food. So that's really interesting. When I tried to take some, or did take some herbs that I was selling on up into Canada, and at the border, it never occurred to me that I was going to have trouble with customs. But at the border, the woman there was saying, you know, your junk food tastes a whole lot better than ours. And there's a reason. It's because it's got so much garbage in it. It's because of that bliss point, because they're against us in certain ways. A quick way to shop, you go down the left side, across the back, and up the front other side, and skip the whole middle part, because that's where, you know, I picked up a can of collard greens. It was collard greens, salt, and MSG. I mean, we don't need MSG. MSG goes into our brain, and it tells a piece of our brain that is also affected by heroin that what's in our mouth tastes good. So, you know, it's time to start reading labels. It's time to take back your body and treat it like the body that doesn't get a replacement. And treat it like the body that is going to help you to live a long and healthy, happy life. One of the things that I've done as a health coach is I've looked around for really healthy products. And the products that I have in the other room are ones that I have found to be really, really helpful because they're organic, they're non-GMO verified, they're really dense nutrition, and we have all kinds of different things, over 70 different products. So we have something for everybody. I mean, say you've got a child that can't concentrate and focus. Our products, every single one of them has been approved by an organization called the Feingold Organization that looks for products that are clean enough that they don't have all of the triggers that make these kids explode. And so, you know, if any of you have a situation where you are working with a child who's having, you know, some attention and focus problems or anger problems, these are things that we could probably work together and get some food solutions. What about blood sugar issues? You want to tell your story?
Oh, yes, I'm glad.
So this is Gloria. I met Gloria about 3-4 months ago, and she's just been starting to use the products. And she doesn't use a whole lot of them, but she's going to be using more of them as things go on.
Because when I met Carolyn through my daughter. They were at a work thing like over here. And she told Carolyn, she said, my mom is diabetic and her numbers are so high. She said, I'm so afraid for her, you know. And she called me that evening and said, Mom, I have a nice, beautiful young lady that you have to meet. You have to see her. And she introduced me to Carolyn. And we have a product with Purium called Scoop of Greens. And that is to help lower your blood sugar. And I've been on the product now for about 6 weeks or more.
Yeah.
About 6 weeks or more. And my sugars in the morning when I wake up is 85, 89. I only jumped up a couple of times, like 121, 135, but nothing in the 200s. And I feel so much better. And I thank God for my daughter finding Carolyn. She's finding my daughter. And I've been with Carolyn, and she's teaching me what I need to do to heal my body. And like Carol said, she's 73, and she sure doesn't look it.
No, she doesn't.
I'll be 69 July 4th.
Wow.
She doesn't look it either.
No, she doesn't.
And I'm trying my darndest to just get my body back where I know I'm going to live a long time. you know. So my sugars are down. I've lost about maybe 13, 14 pounds.
Wow. In 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Was that what's helping you lose
With
weight?
the shake twice a day,
Which
the
one?
green.
The green shake.
Green
So
shake.
Scoop of Greens, is that the one that lowers your blood pressure?
Blood
lowers your
sugar.
blood sugar
Yes.
and helps you lose weight.
Helps you with
Well, no,
that.
she's doing a couple things.
Okay, which is the one that helps you lose weight?
The power
green one you
shake.
told me.
The power
The
shake.
power
The
shake.
power
There's a
shake.
there's a program for losing weight.
Okay.
We got
So-
the brochures out there to show
Okay,
you
the
what
brochure.
everything
Yeah,
is.
right.
But then for the blood sugar, it's called Scoop of Greens.
Right.
Greens. Put it
Right.
in.
And that's that green drink there, or something else?
No, the
Oh.
scoop of greens is in the other side for you to look at, but I didn't make it up.
Scoop
But
of Greens.
But the scoop of greens, you can actually mix with the other shake.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, you're not gonna
Like
have
if I
to
wanted
drink
that
27
blueberry
shakes
one,
a day.
The one I was telling you that
The
one that
cherry
you showed
one.
me.
Yeah.
The one that you showed me at the event where I met you. What was the name of that one?
The cherry, the apatha cherry.
Right.
Yes, that's
Yes.
the one
Like
she
mixed
had.
berry or cherry or whatever. Okay. So I can put the mixed berry and then put the scoop of greens in
Yes.
there.
Oh, right,
In your
yes,
shake.
okay,
Okay.
yes. You mean the appleberry power shake.
Appleberry.
Right. So all of these can be mixed together.
Okay.
And you can put them with a number of different liquids.
Okay.
So at present, we have about 8 different shakes.
Okay.
We've got an appleberry one, a plain one. Both of those have a lot of greens in.
Okay.
Greens are really good. Did you know that about 1/3 of women are now dying of heart attacks?
Oh yeah.
And you know the reason?
Why?
Well, because we're supposed to do calcium. And what does the calcium do? It pushes the magnesium out because they're like a teeter-totter, the calcium and magnesium. Magnesium is what keeps your heart beating.
Okay.
Where do you get magnesium? From greens.
Greens. Okay.
So the center of the chlorophyll molecule is magnesium.
Okay.
So by eating more greens, we come back into balance again.
Okay.
So it's just
So that's
an
what the scoop of greens is, like kale and spinach and all kinds of other stuff
well, we've got a number of things that are green.
inside of it.
Green is good.
Okay.
Green is good. You know,
Okay.
anywhere from a spirulina to a
Yeah, because I
chlorella
have
to
one
wheatgrass
that's-
juice.
okay.
We have
Spirulina.
all kinds of individual powders, and we also have combinations.
Okay.
People who have daily pain, there's something that we can do for that. As a matter of fact, one of the newest products we have a CBD oil, which, how many here have heard of CBD oil? Or maybe even are looking for it? So,
What is that CBD oil? What is that? Is that the one?
so CBD is a part of the cannabis plant, but cannabis includes both hemp and marijuana, and ours are made from hemp.
Okay.
So there's no THC, they're not gonna get high,
Okay.
but they're amazing for pain.
Right. That's what this girl that I know sells that stuff. That's
Well,
why was
I can
asking you.
tell
Y'all
you-
sell it too.
I can tell you that ours is, I'd guarantee, I'd bet a dinner that ours is better than hers.
Okay.
So, because
Okay.
I've looked around and all CBD oil comes in a 2-ounce bottle.
So when you put it on your skin, or you
This
take
one
it-
you spray under your tongue. So we can get rid of pain, we can help you have more energy, we can help you lose weight. If you have a joint replacement and want to heal quickly, I can tell you what my protocol was because it really works. It's time to start treating your body as well as your car.
Right.
How many people think maybe, since they've now realized that they don't have a replacement body, that maybe it's time to start treating your body really well?